Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here with another topic video discussion for us today on this Saturday. So today I want to discuss toxicity in World of Warships, not in a straight front up manner, but more of the reality of it that is in the game. And then personally, my advice on how to respond to toxic players, whether it's in your own team or on the enemy team, so on so forth. So just for the background footage, I'm going to have a ranked battle in the Bourgogne. There is no toxicity that happens in this battle, that at least that I remember. It's just a battle featuring some footage. I'm not going to put some player... Give a little horn thing going on here I forgot about. It's funny. But I'm not going to be featuring some player, putting him up on a pedestal and saying, this is a terrible player, but this toxic person... normally I don't like to feature toxic players in chat. I'll let other World of Warships YouTube content creators do so if they wish to. Usually I just find the response tends to be if you point out a negative player, other players will also flock and also private message that individual saying things as well. So it's kind of this vicious cycle of toxicity and unkind words. So that's not what I'm going to be doing in this video today. It's just a battle. We get to see some fun stuff happen. But spoiler alert, we do lose the battle, but I do pretty good in it because I just got the Bourgogne. But anyhow, back on topic. I'm getting distracted here. I have been playing World of Warships for a year and a half now. I think I started September, October of 2019. And it was kind of interesting when I first started the game. I followed Jingles, and Jingles is more the reason why I started playing World of Warships. But I would see from time to time him talk about, or you see players in chat being toxic. So I knew about it. I knew it was part of the game. Granted, from my understanding, it's nothing compared to World of Tanks, where you can no longer chat with the enemy team. It's just only your team. We're here in World of Ships, so we can still talk with my team or all team, being both teams. But typically, what I have found when I first started playing the game, it was a little bit more easy. Like I'm going to be honest, for me to get worked up in being new to the game, even though I didn't fully understand everything. You have teammates making stupid decisions, players just potatoing, enemy team being really trollish and taunting to the extent that I was negative and bad. And not all times, but sometimes I'd respond, whether it was something I had to defend myself over a play I did, or just trying to stand up for another player on the team, so on and so forth. So the type of players I tend to find in World of Warships that do engage more, I guess, with that negative toxicness, you could probably put them in a couple of different categories, and then break it down from there, how you view each of those categories. So this one's not so much toxic, it's just usually it can lead to toxicity, where I like to call them the Admiral of Naval Forces, where you have a player who kind of bosses the whole team around, pings the map crazy while telling you where to go. Usually those are the first players to die, or they are the ones who score on the bottom of your team list. I've noticed that some players don't handle those types of players well, and just telling them to shut up, go away, so on and so forth. But you have those type of players. You have the players that just had a bad day, and that had a lot going on in their personal lives, and just the last thing they wanted to do was get on, play a randoms match, and just complete derpness, potatoing happening. You get that as well. You get the players who are just really bad players that are just really toxic to anyone, everyone that they think is just an absolute trash player. That was really satisfying. There's been, in a Facebook group I'm in, there's been this one certain player, I won't even begin to say his in-game name or tag, where a lot of players have been noticing this one dude lately who has been, after a battle's over, he privately messages players telling them how bad they are with a lot of inappropriate names, so on and so forth, when he himself is also, ironically, not a good player. Surprise, surprise. And you have other players who just have nothing better to do. You may have seen a little bit of that in the Sea Lord Mountbatten's recent YouTube videos to a series he hasn't added a new video to till recently. I think it was like Don't Be This Guy number 6, I think it was, where you get to see some there, but I mean, you don't have to go very far to find toxicness per se in World of Warships. At the end of the day, this is what I tend to tell players, the players who ask me, talk with me about it, in that at the end of the day, it's a game. It's a game. It's meant to have fun. You enjoy the game for what it is. You can't control what other players do or do not do, or what enemy team players will do or not do, or what teammates or enemy players will say in chat. You can't control it. The game is literally pixels moving around on the screen. And for people to get so worked up where they smash their PC desk monitor, their keyboard, their mouse, their headphones, to me is, I don't know. I anymore. I mean, I can't relate to like getting that worked up over a game, right? So it's just a game. So my advice is, how do you respond to toxicity, negativity in chat in World of Warships? My number one advice, go-to response is just don't respond. It's not worth the energy and the muscles of my fingertips to respond to a player on the enemy team who may be going ragged on myself or another player on the team, or even most cases a player on your own team just being really trash talking to you and so on and so forth. I usually just don't respond. Now, if you notice, most other World of Warship content creators and even community contributors, for the most part, they don't respond in chat at all to things like that. It's just a game. It's not worth getting worked up over. So just don't respond. It helps if you respond. It just tends to egg on the toxicity and just makes the situation worse. Because there's a picture I'll try to put on the screen here if I remember to, where it's like you know nothing about the other player. Like literally anything. The only thing you know about this other player is that they're a player of World of Warships, and that's it. That's all there is to it. So just don't respond. Secondly would be, I have an exception to the first rule, unless you have a really good one-liner. That could be, and there was this one battle I was in, I think it was a tier 5, tier 6 battle. Me and the two clanmates, we were all 3 in destroyers, and we were doing really good. It was a really close battle, but we did really good. And an enemy team player shoot us out. And I just said thanks for the compliment. Something like that. But that's not a really good one-liner per se. But there's other instances where I've thought of a really good one-liner, and then I don't say anything else after that one-liner unless a teammate finds it funny and cracks up, then I talk with him, but not the person who's stirring up a ruckus. And I guess the third is if you're dead, don't crap on your team and tell them how terrible they are, or even if the match is going to be a loss or your teammates did derp or potato, just try to help and give them helpful info in a positive manner. So sometimes as you kind of see me in chat now, I'm asking this player why he's smoking. And you're going to see the result of him smoking, how it also led to his downfall right at the end, which to me it's kind of ironic and it's pretty funny. But just if you, like, for example, like I'll use free cam like this, and then if I see shots coming from an undetected cruiser, like in Alaska that last night, there was the last enemy ship, and I could see just from free cam, I'm like, okay, he's firing in G5. I think that's where the Alaska is right now. Or it's like, hey, don't go around that corner. There's an enemy destroyer coming in on you. And some players are like, oh, thanks, I didn't realize he was there. Just generally helpful information, or like, hey, you might want to consider angling more. But I give it in a helpful, positive way. I don't say, hey, stop broadsiding, stupid. So yeah, so let me know your thoughts and what you think about it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more. And if you already subscribed, thanks so much and really appreciate it. So until next time, take care.